what's that film that's on Netflix at the moment, The Social Dilemma?
Yeah.
And I found it really pessimistic. So I watched it, and everyone was telling me, you know, this is about how social media controls us, how if we haven't checked our notifications for a while, they'll send something out to try and poach us back in, coax us back in.
Yeah.
And I just felt it was actually quite pessimistic. I feel we have more agency than that. I have to, maybe that's a faith-based position, maybe I just have to believe that. But I do think we have more agency.
I think we still do now, although I haven't seen the film. It is probably identifying the direction of travel, which is always what you have to try and identify early on, isn't it? I mean, that's exactly what you were saying earlier again, I think. You know, it's one thing to say, oh, this has happened. You know, it's a different thing to say, beware, this could happen. You know,
But we're still making a decision to turn the phone
Are we?
on. I think so.
I don't make it consciously, no. I would accept what you say in that respect. When I wake up in the morning, I go into the kitchen, I make coffee, and very often the night before I thought, you know what, half the time when you pick up your phone and start scrolling Twitter, before you know it, you're in a row, or something has annoyed you. Why don't you carry on reading that book you're enjoying?
Yeah.
You know.
And that is a
And I
choice,
don't.
though.
I get up in the morning and I turn on my phone, because without it, I feel like I've neglected, I've like...
See, this is why I have a problem with the whole human beings have perfect agency. I don't buy that at all. I mean, we know, for example, with certain crimes like embezzlement or stealing funds from your company, that largely it's a question of need and opportunity. So if you put someone who's poor in a position where, or needs money, in a position where they need money and they have the opportunity to steal it, a lot of people will.
Okay, I accept this point that, I think what you're talking about is addiction. I accept the point that the social media sites are designed.
It's simply habit.
But habit and addiction are pretty connected. I mean, although there was a...
I would say it's more about unconscious influence more than anything, actually.
Well, there's someone at Twitter who talks about...
Do you know about The Elephant and the Rider? You heard that?
Yeah, Jonathan Hyde's book.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
And somebody else has picked up on that. But yes, anyway, yeah. Robin Hanson, the economist.
Sorry, I want Andrew to have the chance to answer this.
yes.
But
I think it's important. It's just, okay, so I recognise that some of the features of the design of the social media platforms is deliberately designed to stimulate addictive behaviour. So, for instance, the way that you have to scroll down to refresh on Twitter, and then there's a pause which isn't necessary, and they put this pause there because then it feels like you're about to get a reward. There's the anticipation that they build up. It's the same technology that they do with slot machines. So it is designed to I didn't know that. To push you into addiction. And that has been admitted. That's not something I'm making up. That's been admitted.
It's funny, isn't it, how you never learn a new fact about these things that cheered you up.
No. But that said, even with slot machines, I still feel that there's got to be that level of choice. Ultimately, I'm a very addictive person. I have a very addictive personality. And I drink too much and do all sorts of things. But I also know that I'm responsible.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for me to say, well, I've had 2 glasses of wine, I may as well finish the bottle, but it is my choice.
See, this is where the distinction between a useful belief and an accurate belief comes in. It may be a very useful thing for you to believe that you have control, but whether that's accurate or not is very much in dispute. So it's useful for you to think that you are making that choice because it allows you to feel responsible and it allows you to then take responsibility and potentially act differently.
Well,
however,
maybe it's useful for you to think that I think it's useful. You know, I mean,
I had a
you
thing
can
where
one-up with turtles all the way down. But my point broadly is some beliefs, like for example, as comedians, when we go on stage, I include you in this chart.
well, it's pretty close, actually.
He's a character.
I'm not funny.
When you go on stage, it is useful to believe that you're the best comedian that's ever been, because that confidence...
I have never had that belief.
Okay. It's very...
Carry on, nonetheless.
I go on judging my audience for laughing at me. That's what I do.
I wouldn't believe that, except that
I was
wanted
joking.
to...
I know.
I wanted to bring up today, but
about
obviously
how
the
that
conversation has
explains a
gone
lot.
off. It is interesting that your 2 biggest profile hits have been
Social media.
fictional characters, right?
As in...
Jonathan Pye and Tanya McGrath, I know you are good at doing it yourself.
Something called psychology is going to come.
But I did wonder about whether there is a point at which you kind of go, I am subsumed, my ego is no longer an issue, so I can absolutely invest this character with everything.
But anyway, let me finish.
I need to put that question to you directly, because that is a really good. So you have all those criticisms of social media, but your career's built on social media.
I know, and I hate social media, and I'm immersed in it in a way that I really dislike. Yes.
Is that right?
I don't know what to say to that. That's just the reality. I get like
no,
I would
I'm
give.
not accusing. I'm just like fascinated.
I would-
Mencken hated the media too, you know, and was probably
Did he?
the
Right,
single-
so there's a
yeah,
precedent.
well, I mean, he hated the effect the newspapers had on the people. Yeah.
But I don't. But no, I don't. I don't hate it because I think it has this terrible malignant effect on everyone. I know it's bad for society, but I don't think it's. I don't see it in that poisonous way. I just hate it personally because I hate the abuse. I hate the playground mentality. I hate the bullying. And I'd rather not be on it. But I'm also aware that actually I don't have a choice.
You
at
do
this
feel
point.
you have a choice or you don't have a choice.
I don't at this
Hang on a
point.
sec, but you were just like, I'm going to press you.
Go on.
You have a
I'm going
choice,
to press you,
haven't
but you just
blimey.
you talked to me. No. I mean, I just, if I may.
Yeah.
You said before we all have a choice. We all take responsibility and stuff. but
Okay,
you
no.
gave us that
Wait,
speech
okay, yes.
2 minutes ago.
Well,
And
I do.
Look, I'm not being rude. I'm just like, I just want to
I do have a
understand.
choice, right? I have a choice. I could completely tomorrow delete Titania's account. I could delete my own account. I could get off Twitter and all the rest of it. That is my choice.
Would you be
I
happy?
choose,
Do you think?
Yes, without a doubt. But I choose not to because I also know, for instance, I've got another book coming out. My publisher would be furious if I just ditched hundreds of thousands of followers for no good reason.
But there is a good reason.
No,
to make you
happiness
happier.
is not a bad reason.
Well, no, but here's the thing, though. I am not in a position. I used to be a teacher. I can't go back to teaching anymore. You Google me, and suddenly all this Nazi stuff comes out. and so I can't be a teacher.
It
So
could change tomorrow. Ask Konstantin.
so
It's the right question.
I have limited career prospects.